Okay, so this review is going to be for a movie that I did a reaction video to the trailer for a few weeks back. I don't remember exactly. It's been a little while. And it's for a Netflix movie called Fractured. And the premise is he and his wife take their kid to the hospital. They're on a trip. They take their kid to the hospital because seems like she's broken an arm. They have to take the child to go get scans of her head in case she had like a head injury as well. And then he never sees them again. They're gone, and he's trying to figure out what's going on. There's something shady going on at the hospital, apparently, according to him. So that's the premise of the story. And I remember when I watched it that it reminded me of Brittany Murphy's last movie called Abandoned. Similar sort of setup, except completely different. Like the two movies went completely different ways. So, this is going to have some spoilers. I'll try not to give too much away because there are twists and turns. The movie was okay. It's a movie I've seen before, basically. It wasn't anything new or completely unique, and certainly things are not what they seem. In reality, things become clear along the way. No, actually, I'm going to tell you, you are sort of guessing along the way. It could be this, it could be that, it could be this, it could be that. It sort of like seems to switch a few times throughout the course of the film, and it's not until the very, very, very end that the truth is revealed. So it wasn't anything that was super shocking to me what was revealed, because like I said, I've seen this type of movie before. So and this is, I was looking at the reviews for this, and it's about like a 6.1 or something on IMDb. And I will have to say that I do feel like I agree with that. That's probably about where I'd put it as well. Not as good for me as In the Shadow of the Moon. Not the most horrible film I've ever seen, but nothing super outstanding. So kind of middle of the road. Worth a watch if you're curious to find out what the story is with this guy. Certainly, but but some people may absolutely love it. This is just obviously coming from my perspective, my opinions about it, which are different from what other people think, obviously. But I feel like most people sort of have very similar thoughts to it, and that's where my thoughts also line up with regard to how this was done. Now, the acting was fine. Sam Worthington, he's not become the big, star that others have become, but he's not really a bad actor in my opinion. He's okay. He's not the most outstanding, the most stellar. He doesn't have the hugest range, but he's all right. I mean, he does a fairly solid job, and I've always liked him. So one of the reasons, there were two reasons I watched it. One was because of him, and another was because just the premise looked interesting, and I wanted to find out what happens with his family and what's this mystery. Is he able to figure things out? So that's why I watched it, and it was enjoyable, but it's not something that I would probably watch again, to tell you the truth. This was a one-time view for me. There was something else I was going to say, and I forgot what it was. Shoot. Oh my goodness, hold on. I'm going to have to edit this video because I'm sitting here thinking, because I have a brain fart about this film. Oh, I know what I was going to say. When you rewatch it, let's say if you do rewatch, if I would rewatch it like I rewatched In the Shadow of the Moon, if I would rewatch this, I would see things that I might not have picked up the first time around. However, I picked up immediately certain clues that they were giving you that maybe you could sort of like dismiss or disregard if you were following the narrative that they wanted you to follow. But there's a scene that happens, and when it happens, you know right away something is up. You don't know exactly what it is because they're only showing you what they want you to see, right? It's, little filmmaking trick. And they're manipulating your perception. But it was at that point that I guessed what I thought was up, and I was halfway right. I wasn't right about the whole thing, but I was halfway right. When it ended up that it was revealed what was going on, it was like, okay, I was right about that. Didn't realize this part, but that was right. So anyway, it's just, like I said, it kind of keeps you going. Maybe it's this, maybe it's that, maybe, it sort of is bound. It's trying to present two different. Is he really crazy? Is he imagining all this? Or is something really going on at this hospital and there's bad things happening and nobody believes him? So it goes back and forth between that narrative. And at the very end is when one of them becomes the answer to your questions. And probably many people will guess what it is, or if you are just following the narrative the way they're trying to present it to you, maybe it will be a surprise. I don't know. I have a feeling probably not to most people. I mean, if you've seen enough movies, a lot of times it's kind of easy to guess where something's heading, what the end result is going to be. But anyway, yeah, so, I recommend you check it out. It's, some of you guys may like it more than I did, and some of you guys may like it less than I did. It was decent. It was worth a watch. Not something I would return to, as I indicated already. So I think that is about it for this. I'm going to wrap it up, and I'm not going to record any more videos after this because I've got a lot of things I got to do before we go out of town. So, okay, later guys. Bye.